way down from the castle here and across the river and slowly back to your ship. There are a few things we'll see on the way there, but it's just essentially a ride back. But lunch is waiting for you on the ship. It has been 4 hours. So, and I know some of you have an optional tour in the afternoon, so I want to give you just a little bit of time to rest, and then you can pick up your afternoon tour, or you can do some other things too. If you look out of the window, you can see the Buda Hills, the gentle slopes of the Buda Hills. There's a saying in Budapest that there are two kinds of people living in the city, one who lives in the Buda Hills and one who would like to live there. I personally don't necessarily agree with this. I think a lot depends on your life stage, whether you want to be on this side or the other side. I think when you're young and when you like to party and stay out late at night, I think it's better to be on the Pest side, the other side. That's the livelier side. There's more life there, more nightlife, more night public transportation as well. Whereas when you settle down, when you have your family, you probably want to move over to this side where, as we say, the grass is greener. We certainly have more green areas, more parks, less people living here, less traffic, better air quality. So as a result, real estate prices also tend to be a little bit more expensive in general. Well, I gave you some numbers and figures already. An apartment on this side would maybe be around 250,000 US dollars. And of course, the further out you go, the more houses, homes you'll find in the nice residential areas. They're in the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 range, and we have the $1 million plus homes as well, just like anywhere else in the world. And you may think that the average prices I gave you are not that bad, but if you consider our salaries, then you'll understand that it's really not easy for us to buy something that we can call our own, because the average salaries here are a lot lower than in the western part of the EU or overseas. As a matter of fact, the average salary in Hungary is about 1,000 US dollars, and this is per month, and this is before taxes. So what comes off of that is the personal income tax, which has a flat rate of 15%, plus social security contribution is also deducted from our salary. So what's left on average is about $750 net per month. And yes, you can make a lot more, of course, if you work for a big multinational company, if you're a banker, if you're a lawyer, they can make a lot more, but there are also a lot of people who make less than this. Someone who works in a grocery store or in a factory working 3 shifts, or a nurse, as a matter of fact, they don't make more than just $400 or $500 net per month. Because we have nationalized healthcare or universal healthcare, so most of our hospitals are run by the state, so doctors and nurses get paid by the state, so the salaries there are far from being competitive. And now that we're in the EU and we're free to move around within the EU, we end up losing a lot of Hungarians who go west. They go to Austria, to Germany, to the UK, to the countries of Scandinavia, where the salaries are at least 5, if not 10 times as high as our salaries. It's a very sad phenomenon, but it's very difficult, if not impossible, to compete with the salaries of the West.
Which side do you live on?
Which side do I live on? I live on this side. I used to live on the Pest side. Now I live on this side, a bit further out.
In the $1 million house?
No. No, this side is really more is more family friendly. And my kids are so funny. I have 2, and when we go to the Pest side, like, Mommy, everything smells like dog poop here. You know, they're used to the green areas, the parks, and well, they like the Pest side, but they can tell the difference, you know.
Bush. Your English is very good.
You're amazing. And our driver is amazing. You should have seen the guy behind him work. Was that nothing like what he worked?
I know he hit the sidewalk when...
Yes, he did.
I know. Azt mondják, hogy nagyon ügyes, hogy megköszönöm. He thanks you very much. District number 1 is the castle area. District number 2 is the Buda Hills. District number 3 is where we have the Roman ruins, because we were also part of the Roman Empire between the 1st and the 4th century, so we still have like amphitheaters and ruins and all that. So these numbers have their characteristics. characteristics. And now we're going back to the Pest side on Elizabeth Bridge. This is so much fun. I'm trying to find a way to train my groups in the future to have this reaction. I gotta find something out. This is really cool. So,
Call the university and ask
That's our sister's middle name.
so during the Second World War, all our bridges were destroyed. They were blown up by the retreating German soldiers. They literally burnt all the bridges behind them, and they were all rebuilt according to the original design, with the exception of this particular bridge. So this one received a brand new design. It's from the 1960s. Elizabeth Bridge was built in the 1960s. Oh boy. We're back on the Pest side, and the two sides were not united until 1873. Until then we had two separate cities, Buda and Pest, so they were united 144 years ago. And this is the main shopping area. On your left you see the main shopping street, and again at the end we have the central covered market hall. You see it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away from the river. So what you have to do when you step out of your ship is the green one is on your left, Liberty Bridge, and the market hall is on the Pest side of the green Liberty Bridge. So if you just go straight ahead, when you hit the bridge you make a left, and it's right there, very close to the river. So just orient yourself towards the green bridge, and within 5, just want to buy 1 fridge magnet for €1, don't bargain. But if you want to buy 5 Budapest t-shirts or 3 tablecloths, you know, you can start to bargain, and I'm sure they'll give you a discount. You can always give it a try. When you take money out, just be careful, because the money comes out in foreign, so count those zeros carefully before you set the amount, you know, because sometimes my guests take out way too much money, you know. Inside there's a grocery store downstairs, and Aldi. Maybe some of you are familiar with Aldi. I know in some states you have Aldi, not in all of them, but in some. Yes, we have Aldi. There's Aldi in the basement if you want to be in a familiar place, and upstairs is where you find the souvenirs. On the ground floor you find the fruits, the veggies and the paprika. Upstairs you find the embroideries, the leather products, the Budapest t-shirts, the food corner, and in the basement, I call it the stinky section, the basement, because not only do we have the Aldi there, but we have fish, fresh fish, and pickled things. We pickle everything, so you will smell that. It's not because of the poor hygiene, it's because of these two things, the fish and the pickles. So, thank you very much for being such a great group. You made my day. This is so cool. Oh, and my name is Elizabeth, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
So, thank you very much, and I also want to thank our driver for putting up with us. Thank you, Paul, for being such a great driver, for not hitting the sidewalk and all that. So, enjoy the rest of your day, and if you're extending your stay, enjoy the next few days also. And I really hope that some of you will come back to us in the future and you'll spend more time here, because you can easily spend a week or 2 here. This was just, again, a taste of Budapest. So, thank you.